Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing a Sag reading, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, any ninth house placements. See what's going on with Sag for August. Alright, so I'm going to start off with the Wonderland and Tarot deck. My allergies are just really bad, so I'm sorry if my nose is stuffy and I'm blowing it. Okay, so let's see what's going on with some Sag energy here. If I get too many reversals, I'm not going to do them because I'm going to feel like the rest of the deck is reversed. Also, be sure to look on the bottom because sometimes those are messages for you guys as well. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Okay, we got the Empress and we got Six of Pentacles reversed. And we got Eight of Swords reversed. I feel like someone is very mentally caught up in a situation where they, it's like if they give, they're chipping away at themselves and they're kind of battling between nurturing themselves and investing in themselves versus investing in this relationship. And I feel like they're very much like mentally stuck in like what to do about this, okay? With this Eight of Swords reversed, Six of Pentacles reversed, and Empress. Some of you might be dealing with a Libra or a Taurus, okay, with that Empress energy. I feel like it's getting harder for you guys to tap into your intuition regarding this situation. There might be a lot of things clouding your mind right now and overwhelming you mentally, okay? Got Queen of Swords, so definitely an air energy here. And Knight of Swords, wow, okay. I feel like there's been a lot of like verbal exchanges, very harsh, very cutting, but very truthful. And we got King of Cups, okay? So some of you might be dealing with a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. There's a lot of emotions running wild here, I feel like. And there's a lot of people that are just coming at this from a very intense, harsh place of wanting to speak their truth. And, but also with the King of Cups, I feel like someone might be holding back emotionally as well. Like, I feel like maybe the lesson is to get more into your heart center versus like this like verbal exchange and battle, okay? I feel like with that Knight of Swords though, someone is definitely coming in strong with a lot of energy and a lot of forcefulness, okay? Four of Swords. Yeah, I feel like the answer right now is to kind of take space and gather your thoughts before things get even crazier here. I feel like there needs to be a time of rest, a time of like mental timeout, okay? So I'm going to pull from Mystic Moon Oracle deck and see. Material world. Someone might be really just kind of like putting their energy into their finances and their stability because it's easier for them to do that than to, you know, focus on this connection. Communication. Yeah, I feel like there's been a lot of communication here. A metamorphosis. So I feel like communication might change its nature though with, you know, taking the time out to really gather your thoughts and to refocus on other things. I do feel like someone is going through a major transformation right now. Guide. Fresh start. I feel like someone is being guided internally to start new, to like have a clean slate. With this metamorphosis too, it's like you're ready to kind of change the nature of like a lot of things in your life. And admired here, okay? I feel like someone has been sort of the inspiration for someone to want to have like a new beginning as well. There was some sort of communication that actually someone said something that someone really valued and admired, and it was very much like this guide for someone else to want to do things differently is the feeling I'm getting, okay? Grief and unawakened, okay? I feel like the masculine is really grieving right now, and he's not awakened, but I feel like this grief might be the thing that breaks him open. I feel like because the masculine isn't woke yet, that the feminine is grieving a lot because she, I feel like, had communication with him. She tried to convey things to him, and he just wasn't getting it. He's just not ready. I keep comparing a masculine who's in the process of awakening as being like in a hallway and like a corridor, and there's like all these doors, and he's like between the door of sleeping and the door of awake, and he just doesn't know. And as he's drawn to the feminine and he has these communications, it's showing that he's like, on some level, his soul wants to be woken up, but as he backtracks, it's like this fear, and he's not quite ready to open that door, but he's in between. So it's like he can't go back to the place where he was asleep because too much has happened, too much has been brought to his mind to get him out of that room, but he's not quite ready to go into the woke room yet. And yeah, we got free will. So it's really up to him. Nobody can force him to step through to a new path. It's going to have to be on him. So if you guys have been trying to communicate something to your masculine, you need to kind of back off because it's not going to be anything you say. It has to be his own experiences and the things that happen. I feel like you've planted enough seeds for him to want to be different and better, but he's got to want to do that himself, okay? And now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like that Eight of Swords reverse and the Empress is like him being conflicted about, he knows who his Empress is. He knows you're the divine feminine, but he's just, with the Six of Pentacles, I don't know if he's ready to give to that dynamic the way that it would require in a divine counterpart situation, okay? So I'm getting a lot of clarity with that. You know, and with the material world, I've been having a lot of thoughts lately, like sometimes we look at like the karmic and we're like, well, she's getting everything. But the thing is, the masculine has a lot of things surrounding his purpose with, like, I feel like a lot of times with material success, becoming that emperor, becoming financially stable. And sometimes the karmic partner is actually with him during a time where he's not there yet. And they're not actually getting the best version of him because if he's unstable, he's not the King of Pentacles yet, the karmic is getting this version of him that's like in the making versus like if, you know, the feminine waits it out and ends up with him, he will have that material success that he needs to feel like the emperor, to come forward and be the divine counterpart. So sometimes they're not really they're getting like the messy version of him, okay? That's just a random message that I've been wanting to share. So I'm going to pull from Mystic Mondays and see what we got. Two of Wands reversed. The Hangwoman reversed, and Ace of Swords. I feel like what this masculine needs, and maybe what you need, is clarity and truth. And with the Hangwoman reverse, I feel like this is you, or it could be them too, but trying to I feel like you're getting closer to the awakening with that truth and clarity, but I kind of feel like what's required of that is not so much thinking about between two options, because Two of Wands is like sometimes like weighing two options. It's also like looking towards the future, but it's not so much that. It's like going to the heart of the matter and getting internally inside what's the truth for the masculine. And it's not to do with options, it's to do with who he is at the core. So with that Ace of Swords. I feel like that's getting to the heart of the matter, of the truth, of the clarity, but these things surrounding him are kind of not there. So the Devil's here, so there might be some Capricorn that you're dealing with, but also these lower vibration tendencies that the masculine might have, things around him that sway him from the path of awakening. But actually they could, this is an interesting Devil because there's a staircase here, kind of to the subconscious, but I feel like even though these things that sometimes we do that are unhealthy, that seem destructive, could be the staircase to finding our true selves and to getting us closer to awakening. So I feel like every step is necessary in that path, okay? Two of Swords reversed. There's a lot of twos here, so I feel like there's a lot of weighing different sides, but I also feel like with the Two of Swords, there's just an inability to make a decision here. An Ace of Wands reverse, and because of that, somebody doesn't want to take action. Someone maybe even feels like their creativity is stifled, their inner fire is kind of stifled because they don't want to take any steps until they have more clarity, okay? I'm going to pull from this Mystic Art Medicine deck, Oracle. These cards are huge, but they're beautiful. Let's see, it's hard to shuffle them too, but let's see if I can. I have little hands, so. Get some Oracle messages here. Tomorrow is 8/8, that Lionsgate date, so we're approaching this day that's gonna be, I feel like, pretty big in the twin flame realm, so that's exciting. So we got grief again, guys. Wow, I feel like whoever you're dealing with or you, there's a lot of grief here, okay? Very, very interesting. I'm going to read what it says. Gratitude and grace. G. Who's your G? All right. So that's very interesting. I want to read what this grief in here talks about. But I feel like the path out of grief is gratitude and grace, okay? I just turned to the grace page. Something it says is much of society has fallen in love with the terms enlightenment, oneness, beauty, power, peace, and grace as if they were something to acquire from the outside. In truth, you are all these things and much more right here, living, breathing, fully realized. Body, spirit, temple, and soul, the king and mermaid queen of your individual throne. The message for you here is to open, soften, give, and receive elegantly. Pretend you are in grace even if you don't believe it. First, be in the willingness to let go of hardened ideas that don't feel good. Recognize patterns of feeling you are alone or that you're higher or lower than another. Grace is about saying yes to receptivity because you honor and love yourself. This is very interesting. I feel like part of the masculine's thing is that he needs to have like an ego death. And I feel like as long as he's viewing things in like this ego struggle, he's gonna always he's not going to be in grace. And I feel like part of our journey here is to not see things in such a competitive place, but in a place of humility, okay? So gratitude reminds you to observe the love in your world. In the grief card, it says, in choosing this medicine card, look at the feelings deep within that need to be released. Perhaps grieving is at hand. It's time to create without grief as your ruling crown. Grief is not forever, but it feels like it when you suppress the feeling and keep it under its numb layer of protection and denial. As you step fully into a process of grief, then you can truly integrate the experience, appreciate this gift, and move on. So yeah, I feel like with gratitude and grief, it's like using, if you guys are in a place where you're grieving something, use that as an opportunity to propel you forward. Wow, very strong message here. My reading's pretty long, but okay, so I'm going to do some twin flame messages from your divine counterpart and see what their higher self wants to express to you, okay? From Mystic Moon here. It all comes down to timing. Even though I don't show it, I'm sorry for how things went. My family and upbringing are a bigger factor than I realized. Wow, okay. So some of you might have had a situation where, you know, your masculine did something that was very hurtful. And I feel like there were a lot of external factors that played into this, you know, timing, outside influences. Family could also be the friends and the people that they surround themselves with. So I feel like they have a lot of grief over what they put you through, and they feel really sorry. And I feel like they kind of felt powerless in their decision, okay? That's the feeling I'm getting. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.